Namo tassa bhagavato arahato sama sambuddhassa. Namo tassa bhagavato arahato sama sambuddhassa. Namo tassa bhagavato arahato sama sambuddhassa. So last week we have lesson ready to depart. That the person come to ask the Buddha. So everybody have to pass away, but some afraid of the death and some not. And the Buddha said that those who don't have much attachment on the sensual pleasure, on the body, who have done a lot of wholesome deed, and who have no doubt in the teaching of the Buddha himself, so that person can be passed away without being afraid of the death. So that is the last week lesson. We are ready for the part. So today lesson also similar to last week lesson, that some of the devotee, they ask that in Vietnamese the tradition, we have the tradition that when a person pass away, they also they invite the monk to do the funeral service and do the chanting. So is it helpful for the pass away one or not? So that's the question. So today, that's why we have today's topic: help your own rebirth. The same question also be asked to the Buddha. It recorded in the collection of connected discourses. A headman of a village approached the Buddha and asked that, Venerable Sir, there's some Brahmin from the western region. They carry around water pot, wear garland, immerse themselves in water, and tend the sacred fire. So they said that they can direct the dead person upward, guide him along, and conduct him to heaven by surrounding him and say, "Go, sir, go to the Brahma world. Go, sir, go to the Brahma world." So can you do that? The Buddha, he asked the Buddha, "Can you do that? You are the blessed one, the Arahant, the perfect enlightened one. So can you do that? You bring somebody after they break off of their body, after that, you bring them to the good destination, the heavenly world." So the Buddha, he did not directly answer the question, and he asked the headman of the village that, "I will question you about it. Answer. What do you think about it? Suppose there are a person who are here in this very life, destroy life, killing, taking what is not given, stealing, and engage in sexual misconduct. That is the misconduct by bodily, or who speak falsely, lying, who speak divisively, who speak harshly, who chatter outly." So that person, they do the misconduct in the verbally, and who is covetous, who is full of ill will, who hold wrong view. They have the misconduct in the mind, by way of mind. So such kind of person, when they pass away, there are a group of people, there are a great crowd of people surround them, and then they would pray, they would recite something, circumambulating around him, and wishing that may this person, after pass away, after the break of the body, will be reborn in a good destination and in heavenly world. What do you think, headman? Because of the powerful of the prayer, or because so many people around him, they circumambulating around him, they have a salutation of him, so that he can be born in a good destination in the heavenly world. What do you think about that? So what do you think? So the headman answered that, no, sir, I don't think so. So the Buddha said that just like a really big rock, a huge boulder, throw into a deep pool of water. So a great crowd of people come together, assemble around it, and there's a lot of prayer, a lot of recites, and circumambulating around that boulder, that wishing that emerge good boulder, emerge good boulder, rise up good boulder, come to the high realm, come to the land. So will it emerge? Will up rise up and go to the land? Because of the praying, because of they recite around him, around that boulder, that rock, it could not happen. So in the same way, if the person who destroy life, who taking what is not given, who engage in sexual misconduct, do misconduct by bodily, or who speak falsely, who speak divisively, who speak harshly, who speak nonsense, who that person commit misconduct in the verbally, or who is covetous, full of ill will and full of wrong view. So that person commit the misconduct mentally. So such kind of person, if they pass away, and a lot of people around surrounded him, and a lot of praying, a lot of reciting, but it could not help him, bring him to the good destination in the heavenly world, but it bring him down to the plane of misery, the bad destination, the lower world, just like hell. So there are three realm we call the misery, plane of misery, or best destination in Buddhism. One is hell, the other is animal kingdom, and the third one is hungry ghost realm. So how to understand hell? I don't know about Western culture, but for Vietnamese culture, when we heard about word hell, we think that under the earth, and they cannot imagine how terrified it is, how misery it is. So the Buddha gave an example in the middle line of discourse. Suppose there's a robber who is caught and bring in front of the king. So the people ask the king, please order the punishment you want for him. So the king will say, go and strike this man in the morning with 100 spear. And in the morning, they struck him with 100 spears. Then at noon, the king asked, how is that man? Sir, he's still alive. So the king ordered again, go and strike that man at noon with another 100 spears. And they struck him at noon with 100 spear. Then in the evening, the king asked, how is that man? Sir, he's still alive. Then the king said, go and strike that man again in the evening with another 100 spears. And they struck him in the evening with 100 spears. So what do you think, Bhikkhu? Would that man experience pain and grief because of being struck with 300 spears? How you feel? The monk replied that, Venerable Sir, that man would experience pain and grief because being struck with even one spear, let alone 300 for the whole day. So in the same way, the painful, the misery, being born in the hell. So the Buddha gave an example that, so he have a small stone on his hand, and he asked the monk, what do you think, Bhikkhu, which is greater, the small stone in my hand and the Himalaya mountain, which is bigger, which is greater? So the bhikkhu replied that this is too small. The stone on your hand cannot compare with Himalaya mountain. So in the same way, the pain and the grief that man would experience because being struck with the 300 spear cannot compare to the suffering in the hell. It would be more and more than that, even more suffering than that. So that is the first one. That's what is called the plane of misery. The second one is the plane of misery is the animal kingdom. So there are the animal that feed on grass. They eat with their teeth the fresh grass or the dry grass, like elephant, like horses, like donkey, like goats, like deer. There are some animal that feed on dirty thing. They smell dirty food from a distance and run into it, like thinking that we can eat it. We wanted to eat that. And just like the chicken, the pig, the dog, we have the little dog which we just told you. And when the time he smelled the waste of the bird, he tried to run into it and want to taste it immediately. He afraid that we will prevent him from taking that. So that is his nature like that. So there's some kind of animal that is born, age, and die in the darkness, like the moth, the maggots, the earthworm. There are some kind of animal that born, age, and die in water, like the fish, the turtle, the crocodile. There are some kind of animal that is born, age, and die in the filth, just like in the rotten fish, rotten cosh, rotten porridge in the cesspit or in the sewer. So just like there are 5 kind of animal in the animal kingdom like that. Some people think like being an animal is just like freedom. They see the fish, they is freely in the pond. They feel really happy, really peaceful. Or some they see the bird flying into the sky and they say freedom. They can fly freely everywhere without any biting him there. So they think that being in the animal is freedom, is a lot of happiness, but they forget that animal they have to be suffer a lot. Just for example, the little dog, we just tell you that in the evening, a little bit raining, and he is abandoned from somewhere we don't know, and he tried to find a place to stay. What if he's not lucky? He find our temple. What if some wild animal find him? Maybe the eagle or the other wild animal. Or he cannot find a place and he be hungry, he be wet by the rain. He could die too. And what if he run not our temple, but to a house that they don't love dog, they hate dog, they gonna kill him, they wanna abuse him. So a lot of suffering in the animal kingdom. So that's why being an animal is considered as a plan of misery, a bad destination. Another bad destination is the word of hungry ghost. So there are many kinds of hungry ghosts, and some they have the very bad appearance. They live in far away area, like in the mountain, like in the forest, and some they live nearby the human world. In the Betavatu report on the occasion that some they live nearby our house, they are the depart relative of us, and they will come back to their own house and stand by the door. For sure, nobody can see them. And when they see people happy, enjoy eating, drinking, being together, and not remember anything about them, how suffer it is. They want to join them, but they don't see the hungry ghost, the passed away one. And they don't think sharing with them. They forget them totally. They just enjoy the moment. So how suffering it is. Just give you one example to think like that. The hungry ghost, the mystery of the hungry ghost. Some person they have little bit merits. They were reborn in the human world, but they live. They will reborn in a low family, in an outcast family, in a family that they don't have enough food and drink. A lot of difficulty for them, or maybe they have some disabled part of the body, like blind, like cripple-handed, like lame, they're paralyzed, don't get enough food, drink, clothes, bedding, housing, lighting, for example, like that. So also a lot of suffering if they have little merit and reborn in the human world. So what is the cause? From where does this fear, pain, and dejection come? It had arisen from the punishment chosen by oneself due to one's own misconduct. I try to there's a word, Pali word Pali word, the atta danda. I try to translate as from the punishment chosen by oneself. The atta means by oneself, and the danda means the punishment. So why we call the punishment chosen by us, not anyone else? Nobody have the capability to punish us, even the Buddha. We are the person who choose the punishment for ourselves, because we are the one who commit misconduct, bodily, verbally, or mentally. And because we commit those misconduct, we choose the punishment for next life for our own self. That's why when we pass away, nobody can help us to go to the heaven, to go to the good destination, but only us can choose the next destination for us. If we do the bad thing, if we do misconduct, surely we choose the punishment for us. It coming next life or the life to come. So there's a story in the commentary of the Dhammapada I would like to share with you. During the Buddha time, there are a couple really poor, and they have they have to leave their area, their country, to find a place to work, find enough food for them. And when they come to a place called Kosambi, a city called Kosambi. So during that day, that family have a celebration. And then when they see the two couple come, poor couple come, so they share with them food. And the husband, because they feel hungry for a long time, they don't have enough food to eat. So that when they have they receive the food, they eat a lot. The husband eat a lot, but never finish, never feel full, because they be hungry for a long time. So when he is eating, he saw the owner. He have a little dog. No, not a dog, and a female dog, and he feed that female dog with good food. And the husband think, wow, how lucky that dog is. He have good food, and me, he can enjoy good life, stay in the house like that. He enjoy a lot of things. Yeah, he's so happy. She's so happy. So but at night time, because he eat too much, and he passed away because of eating too much like that. And when he have the idea thinking about how happy the dog is. That's why he was born as the dog in the house, little dog in the house. But lucky for him that when he be a dog in a good family, the owner really loved the new dog, fit him well, and even in the house that the owner often offer alms round to Bachika Buddha, a Bachika Buddha. So Bachika Buddha also saw the dog and loved the dog and shared the food with the dog. And every day, when the owner go to the hut of the Bachika Buddha to invite for offering alms, so the dog follow him to the place. And sometime when the owner not free, the dog will come and invite the Bachika Buddha. So he will park at the place of the Bachika Buddha and waiting for him and guide him the way go back to the house of the owner. And when he parked the Bachika Buddha to guide the way, he parked with all his love. And Bachika Buddha also love him and share food with him. One day the Bachika have to go back because his robe is too old, and the owner offer him some piece of cloth to make the new robe. And at that area, there's no one to help to shoot the new robe. That's why he have to go another place. And since the time the Bachika Buddha flight up to the sky, the dog looked at him and with a lot of suffering, a lot of loving, and he cannot bear that emotion and he passed away. But with all of his love, he was reborn in the Cultivating heaven as a deva called Gosaka. Gosakas mean the one who have loud voice, because when he park and show the way for the Bachika Buddha, he do with all his heart. That's why he had the name Gosaka, with the power in the Cultivating heaven. So I bring that story here because for you to think, that man before he passed away, he think that being in an animal like a dog is really happy, really enjoy like that. That's why he was born as a dog. But lucky for him that he was born in a good family, and even he meet the good monk like Bachika Buddha. But what if he was born in not good family, abuse him, beat him, even kill him? In Asia, they not love the dog. Some place they not love the dog. They even kill the dog for eating. And if they was born in a good family, but they not meet the good person like Bachika Buddha, like good monk, show him with love like that, he would not have the chance to reborn in heaven. So that for you to think. Being a human being is a chance to choose your next one. And good or bad is on our hand. We are the person who choose our punishment or our reward in the next life. And no one can help our rebirth, but we are the one who have our own rebirth. So thank you for your listening.
Okay, we have some time to discuss about today's lesson. Let's go back to the beginning about help our own rebirth. And then normally in Buddhist cultures, that sometime when someone about to die, there's a thing that people often help the dying person to be reborn in a good destination by teaching that dying person to stay calm, let go, don't hold on to, don't attach to anything in life, or try to recall the dying person or the wholesome deed that he or she has done, things like that, to help him to, assist him to recall. If he or she recall with all the good, wholesome, the wholesome act that he had done, and his mind got delighted, and in that very moment, that dying person passed away with this good state of mind, chances are he or she will be reborn in good destination, like in human that would inherit all the punya, the merit from the wholesome deed that had done, or more than that, be born in heaven, etc. So that one considered like assisting for a good rebirth for a dying person. But how often that we have the chance to meet someone who help us, guide us correctly to be, to take a good rebirth. A lot of time that people die alone or die unexpectedly, things like that. So how can they be helped? So that's kind of thing that we don't have any choice. We don't have any chance at all. We die alone. We die unexpectedly. So let's go back to the way that we need to help our own rebirth by doing good deeds, stay calm, and have the right state of mind. In that way, it's guaranteed that we'll be born in the good destination. Okay, that's one thing. Okay, another thing is in the Buddhist culture, in many cultures, person like monks or monk or nun to come and do the funeral service, do the chanting and all that kind of thing. And the question come about is that, will the funeral service, the monk and the nun do the chanting, would ever help the passed away person be free from the misery realm or be reborn in good destination or not? That's the question that people often wonder. And for nowadays, people don't have the capability to see the passed away born in which destination. We don't know, and that's the Buddha. He can actually tell that the person after where they are after rebirth. So more likely that the chanting for the funeral service doesn't really help much if that person doesn't know. In Buddhist culture, didn't know the teaching of the Buddha. I give you an example. It helped, but sometimes it doesn't help. It helped in the sense that, let's say that you are practitioner like this. You know about the wholesome deed. You know about the punya, the merit. So if the monk come and do the service, do the chanting is just to remind the teaching of the Buddha, like life is impermanent, attachment will lead to suffering, things like that. So the chanting would be say something like this. And if someone like born as a hungry ghost, like the type that linger around the family or the house, if they know the teaching of the Buddha and they understand what the monk is chanting, and they be reminded, and then they let go, or they be taking joy in the wholesome act of someone doing. Let's say in the temple, people come and do offering to the monk, and if the passed away relative are called hungry ghosts, they take delighted in the wholesome deed. So in the sense, they also gain some punya or merit. With this kind of merit, they can be free from the suffering realm, the woeful realm. But that's called helping. Let's say that all of us here, we understand about taking rejoice in someone good deed, good act for wholesome deed. Then we gain some merit. But why we ever got born in the hungry? Because at the last moment of life, maybe something that we so attached or whatever that we didn't practice well enough. So it happened. We happened to fall into the hungry ghost realm. But we still understand what is adumodana, because take choice in someone else wholesome deed. We can gain some merit. If that's the case, we can help ourselves to be free from the wholesome, not from the people chanting and praying for us to be free from the wholesome realm. That's different. And what is the chanting, or the chanting doesn't help? In the case that it doesn't help at all, is someone who doesn't know about taking choice, or doesn't know about the impermanence of life, like the three characteristics of life, impermanent, suffering, and anicca, anicca, dukkha, and anatta. They don't understand that. They don't know how to take choice in someone else's wholesome deed. They just stand and see people doing good deed and be indifferent about it. If that's the case, it's no help at all. That person cannot be helped at all for, however that we do the chanting, or however we do the wholesome deed, the good act for the merit, that cannot be helped. So that person cannot be helped for the good rebirth. Okay? So the one can be helped in the good rebirth is understand in some level about the right view, the good, good deed, making merit, thing like that. So that is very slim. If it works, but it's still very slim. The one is more certain is the one that we do it ourselves. The one that we know, we do it ourselves. So we need to help ourselves. Okay. And thirdly, in other religion, they believe in some higher being to punish or to reward you, or to make a decision whether you be born in heaven or you be condemned in hell. But in Buddhism, there is no such theory or such belief. Every whatever that you get is your own making. So if you do an unwholesome deed, then it bears the fruit for you to be born in the unhappy realm, like woeful realm. When he mentioned about the three type of action that will determine where you'll be born, is the law of cause and effect, and its nature. If good deed, the nature of it is to bear the fruit for you to go up. The bad deed has the nature to bring you down. The same way, the nature of a heart of a rock has a heavy density, is to sink down in the water, as you know, because the density of the rock, the nature of it, nobody make it. It's heavy, it sink down. Unless something support it, then it be on top of the water. But if it doesn't have anything supported, it will completely go straight down to the bottom, right? So that's the nature of it. So the nature of bad deed bear the fruit, unhappy fruit. The nature of a good deed bear the fruit that is happy fruit, a good fruit. That's how it is. So so if you commit all the bad deed, unwholesome, you create a lot of suffering to others. Then the suffering that you gain back, that's the nature of it. And if you create a lot of suffering to others, do a lot of bad deed, and chances are you'll be born in hell, where you be tortured and do all that. And people are saying that, wait a minute, who will do the torturing in hell? Hell realm is the nature of it. Whoever fall into that realm will suffer for all this kind of act, all the torment. Let's say, for example, if someone who born in Africa wears like scared, no water, no food, and all that, how is it someone actually take food away from you and starve you to death? The environment, you stay in that environment, you will bear the suffering with every being in that environment. That's the nature in that environment. Or you've been in the place that where a lot of abusive people, or people very fighting, and a lot of fighting, and think in that area, somebody who has low merit or low punya, they be in that area. In that area, they have to face a lot of discomfort or suffering, thing like that. Nobody put us there. We just got ourselves in that situation and then bear the suffering. So hell is the environment that has a lot of torment. And in hell level, according to Buddhism, there's different level of hell, not just one hell. And the lowest one is called the avicii, the uninterrupted suffering. Means that being who born in that lowest realm in hell, they continuously face one suffering after the other, no break in between. One suffering after the other. Sometimes people can actually face hell in the human realm. You know, sometimes that you have one mishap after the another mishap continuously. You know, you lose your wealth, you suffer a lot of not enough food to eat, material, clothes to wear. That's too much to bear already. And then your loved one die, and then you get sick. You get, like one after mishap after each other. Just imagine it's like that continually, no break at all. Sometimes you think, oh, I lose all my property now. I'm homeless. I don't have anything to eat. That's like too much already, too much to bear already. Now I have more on top of it, and then more on top of it, more on top of it. It's like that. So it's called uninterrupted suffering. For us human, we do suffer, but we also have some comfort or some happiness in some level. There's a break in between. We have the taste of suffering, but at the same time, we also have the taste of comfort and loving and things like that. And some people have none. No break in between. Or in heaven, they face, in being in heaven, they enjoy mostly, if not all the good life, the luxury life of there. Everything is abundant, beautiful, all the best of the material that they face up there. There is no such thing as bad taste or anything up there. So they continuously enjoy all the luxury life, until, they finish that life over there. So like that. So we call that the happy realm, or the merit realm. In human, we half and half, 50-50. So there you go. The nature in that area that got us into the whether good or bad. Okay. But being human, just like in this story, just like the dog in this story, that the dog happened to be born in the good family, been loved and been taken care by the good owner. On top of that, the owner also is a good moral owner that also helped the monk with food and all that. And because of that, the dog also partake with the good act, help the monk, we call the Pachika Buddha, the silent Buddha. And whoever helped the silent Buddha gain a lot of punya and merit from there. Let's say that if the dog born in the good family, but if that family doesn't know how to give to the Pachika Buddha, just regular, then the dog may have a good life, but after that good life, he just die, and then be born however it is. But in this case, because the dog has the chance to be close to the Pachika Buddha and also partake with all the good deed, he also gained merit in some level. And when he died with a good spirit, would die with a good state of mind, even though he has some attachment, but he died with the good state of mind, happy mind that he had served the Pachika Buddha. He got reborn in the heaven realm. Imagine that. So being an animal is bad, but it's still, in some level, it has some good merit that be born in the good family. You see, whereas some people, they have the capability to do all the good deed, but they're born in the bad family, doesn't know how to live a moral life. They've been taught to kill, been taught to steal, and all that, and all the bad deed, and then they be reborn the unhappy realm. Being human, that you have all the possibility to do good deed, but you didn't. You did all the bad deeds, and you be born in the bad destination. So there you go. It's all about the merit, about the punya that set motion for our new life, and that's how we have to practice well, with good deed. And bring back to the story about the dog. Bring back to the story that we have two dogs. We have now to have two dogs in this temple. We try to help the dog, with a lot of wholesome as much as possible. Give them a good state of mind, love, and take good care of him, and try to prevent him from committing bad deeds. Like he often chase the squirrel or kill a bird or whatever. We try to stop him. He doesn't know better. He just only know that we don't like it, so he might restrain himself. Because of that, he also help him from doing bad deed. And also that we give him love, that he's not mean and ferocious and might harm other people or other animal. So in a way, we also help him with the state of mind. And hopefully with this kind of state of mind, if he die, he will die in a good destination like this dog. So like Kobe, our dog, the bigger dog now, with the new puppy coming, he's not really jealous. He's a little bit worried that he be replaced, but he's not mean at all. Like other dog would bite the little puppy out of jealousy or something can be worse. But he's a very gentle dog, even though he's a pit bull. His American pit bull can be very mean, very ferocious. But because the way we taught him, we raised him, he lived with confidence and he also gentle. So he very gentle with the puppy. He didn't bite the puppy at all. He just kind of walked away when the little puppy a bit annoying, like keep following him, thing like that. So it really helped the being personality, the attitude is how they live in the environment. Okay, so but now we understand the teaching of the Buddha about our act. Good deed will lead to good fruit, that happy result. Bad deed will lead to bad result. But because of ignorance, we might commit bad deed. But remember, it's not the end of the world. There's still time for us to make it up. So if out of ignorance, we did a lot of bad deed, but now we understand that bad deed will lead to bad fruit, that, we face suffering, then we try to do a lot of good deed. When we do a lot of good deed, it would be like a rock that landed on a boat or a trap, how it is. If you throw a rock to the water, it will go directly to the bottom, of the lake or the pond, right? But if something is supporting it, it won't. It'll be on top of the water, right? So the good deed would be something like the drab of the boat or something, the board that hold the rock above the water, not sinking down. So there's still hope for us. That's the end, not the end of the world. So it's okay if you did bad deed, but you soon know enough that it's not good. Then try to do as much possible good deeds as possible to save ourselves. You never know at the end, when the last breath of our life, we remember all the good deed, and we learn how to keep our minds sound and positive, calm. It will condition for us to be born in the happy realm. In this case, for this hungry man, he was so hungry, he consumed a lot of food. But because he lived in a very poor life, doesn't have any food, when he see a dog being well treated, well taken care of with the food, he has this wish in his mind that, oh, this dog is so lucky, because he been very poor, not well fed, nothing to eat. When he see a dog, an animal is better than him, he has this with, oh, being a dog is very good. Maybe I wish I could be that dog, right? Because of that mind that set motion in his mind, and at night he died out because of overeating. And that motion is still set in his mind. That's conditioned for him to take rebirth, and rebirth as a dog in the family. And lucky that family is a good family. Imagine if the family is a bad family, teach him to go steal or kill or whatever, then his life wouldn't be That's good, right? So we are encouraged that we live our life, try to think positive, try to let go when thing is no longer with us. So that way we can keep our mind calm to the last moment of our life. It will condition for us to be born in the good realm. That's how we help our rebirth, right? Because the last moment of our life is very crucial. It will determine where we will be in the next life. So that's why we often encourage, people, not just only old people that their life is getting short now. Every one of us, because young people can actually die, tomorrow. Sometimes die before the old people, right? So we don't just only encourage old people that, oh, you need to be ready for your death and things like that. We encourage every one of us, young and old. We should live our life in the sense with less attachment as possible. How does it work? A lot of people say, wait a minute, if I live my life with nothing to cherish and to have and to hold, it would be so boring. Right? It would be meaningless. It would be tasteless. I have to have something. Otherwise, yes, you can have a good thing in life, but don't attach to it. You can enjoy. You have a good house. You have good food. You can enjoy, but it's not as bad. It's bad when you start to attach to it. And when you attach to it, you may not get it next time or may not have it anymore, then suffering follow. Worse than that, you die with this attachment. And with this attachment, more likely you'll be born in the unhappy realm. So whatever you have in life, you have it, you enjoy, but understand one thing, that one day I will leave this, or this thing will leave me. If that time comes, I will accept it and let go. Don't regret it. Don't long for it. Don't try to hold on to it. That's the key in here. Some people have this saying that, oh, you live your life, you shouldn't love, you shouldn't hate, and you shouldn't love either. Yeah, hating is bad in every aspect, in every angle of it. You should not hate it at any level at all. But love, you can. There's several levels of love. Okay, like the Buddha. The Buddha is the enlightened one. He's full of love. Yeah, definitely he doesn't hate anyone, anything, but he's full of love. But his kind of love is different from our kind of love. His kind of love is with no attachment. He loves and he just leave it there. Not us. We love, we want to bring it to us and hold it and squeeze it and keep it to ourselves and don't let anyone touch it. That's different. That is the problem, not the loving part. Okay? So you could love your children, your flesh and blood. You love your children. You love as much as you can. But if they grown up, they have their own life, you accept it, you bless them, you wish them to have a good life. Let them live their life. Don't go after them and nitpicking on every little thing. Or if something happened to them, let's say that if they leave this world, then accept the fact that this loved one no longer with us. It's a good memory. Yeah, but no longer with us. We accept it. Don't try to hold on and suffer from it. It make no sense, because no matter how you in grief with his loss, it will never come back to you. But you wear yourself and you killing yourself day by day or moment by moment. So it's pointless. Accept the fact that you don't have it anymore. That's one thing. And another, one of our devotees called us, and she's old, and she heard about, she listened to our Dhamma talk, and she also, care about how she will die. So she asked us, how should she die? How should she make her life? How should she keep her state of mind positive so that she can be reborn in the happy realm? So we suggest her that she has a whole life already. Her kids are grown and well off. Then when she dies, just remember that she has fulfilled her duties and she has a life already. nothing nothing, that she cannot keep with her. Just keep her mind calm and let go of everything. Let go. Just the only thing that you need to hold on is the good state of mind. Stay to keep calm, positive. And if you can rethink, if you can recall the good deed, the good punya that you make when you still, healthy, then try to recall that. If not, then just keep your mind calm and happy as much as possible. Everything else not matter anymore. That's how you die peacefully. Not dying that, oh, my son A not back yet. I'm waiting for him. My this or that, and try to hold on. You can. When death come, it come. You can't ask them. Oh, wait a minute. When death come, wait a minute. I'm not ready. I'm still waiting for my son, my daughter to come to say goodbye. You can't. So don't ever try to long for someone, let it be. If they come, they come. And, that's how you can die peacefully. If you die peacefully with no attachment, then you be born in happy realm. I think this is very common that we often hear about hungry ghosts, like we call ghost. Some people get hunted, in the house, or you have someone like the ghost story. Have you ever heard of you seen the movie Ghost Story? Demi Moore and Patrick Swayze, whoever, Ghost Story. Patrick Swayze in this story, he died, and then he loved his wife so much that he kept linger around the house, but his wife doesn't know, doesn't see him, doesn't know, only in the dream, right? And so it's similar to like this. So if someone who died with the attachment, they be reborn into this kind of being that linger around. If they attach to the house, they become the ghost of the house. And then when a new owner move in, they live, in the house the way they want. And when you attach too much, you keep thinking this is my house. So when you think this is your house, someone else doing not the way you like, you get very angry. But then you cannot do anything. You cannot say. You say a lot, but nobody can hear you. You want to do a lot, but it cannot be the way that you done, because you are not the same being in the same world, right? So because of that, disappointment and dissatisfaction give you a lot of suffering. And then you see your family member, come together, eating, talking, and not remember you. You be neglected. It's a lot of suffering for you. On top of that, being that born in this realm, they don't have food to eat. They don't have clothes to wear. They be, very, it's a lot of misery for them because of the attachment. They can be good people. They can be a very good people because they don't understand about the danger of the attachment. That's why they're born as a hungry ghost. So they keep lingering around and around. But if they understand, if they Buddhist and they understand, or doesn't have to be Buddhist, but they rejoice or content or happy with someone else doing good deed like generosity or deed, they're happy with it. They take choice in other people doing good stuff. They gain some punya. When they have punya, the misery will be lessened. And then best they be free from the suffering state or the hungry ghost state, be reborn at human or heaven being, thing like that. But if you don't, whether you're Buddhist or not Buddhist, if you see people doing deed, you're just indifferent, then you don't get any merit at all and continue to suffer in that state for a long time. Like that. So that's called hungry ghost. Several types of hungry ghosts in Buddhism, but this type of hungry ghost is the one close to people. Battery, I know the battery is about to go out. Yeah, so according to Buddhism, several types of hungry ghosts, that some ghost is worse than, more suffering than this type of hungry ghost. They born in the forest, in the mountain, far away from people, and continue to suffer without any help at all. But this type of hungry ghosts, we often share marriage. We think of them, even though they're not our relative. We still think of them. We share merit, and if they know how to rejoice with this kind of merit, then they also gain some. Otherwise, they don't get anything. Okay, and that's why here we go back to we say we help our own rebirth in the same way. A lot of people say, "Wait a minute, what about some of the help that you need from around other people, like?" When you're in distress or in trouble, you also reach out and ask someone else for assist. In Buddhism, there's also some this kind of help, also, as well. For example, even though no one can actually grant you the favor, but they can, because of the energy, because of the good thinking, good state of mind, can be radiated to that person, and some level that person can feel it, can they could actually help and calm. The same way, when someone who has a lot of loving kindness, even though that person didn't do anything, but the energy, the loving kindness, the energy from the loving kindness radiate, pervade. So being can actually feel the frequency, feel the vibe, and they feel very calm and happy. Vice versa, if someone who has a lot of anger, the dog is the perfect example that they have very sensitive sense. They can pick up this kind of energy. If someone who has a lot of angry mind, the dog can pick it up. The dog will growl or feel very agitated. But if the dog when someone who has a lot of loving kindness, when the dog get close, they pick up the vibe. They feel calm and very happy. The tail will wag. Especially when someone who loves dog. And then you meet the dog, on the street, most likely the dog will come to you and be comfortable. That's we call the energy that radiates from our mind. So like the same way, when you're in trouble, people often ask, to bless, cannot do the chanting and bless and that person be well. There's no such a thing that we can do that. But we could actually try to think of that person, and then we radiate the positive energy to that person. In some level, that person can feel it, and they can be calm, and they can actually help that person calm. That's the in Buddhism. That's the only we can do. But don't ever ask us monks to do the chanting and bless that person to be free from all the trouble. We cannot do that. And the Buddha cannot either. But the Buddha will show you how to do it, how to get it. Even though the Buddha cannot grant you the favor, and no one can do it, but the Buddha is the perfect one because he has great metta, we call great loving kindness, and great compassion. Because of the energy, the positive energy, being close to him without him doing anything, they still feel the vibe. They feel very happy, very calm, thing like that, because of the energy that comes from our mind. That's the only way that Buddhism that we can do. Okay, so it's not that cut and dry like we saying that we need to help ourselves. Yes, ultimately we need to help ourselves. But in some level, we can help each other in this kind of sense. We can actually help someone can be born in the happy realm, or we can help someone to stay calm and happy. It is the energy. Okay. Yeah. Okay. I think I'm rambling on to the time. So before we wrap it up today, do you have any question? Short question, long question? They won't get it, but we often speak out. We often speak out if they can still hear us, even though our faculty, our capability cannot see them, but in some level they can see us. So we often call out. We often saying that, okay, now merit is performed to share to you. So make sure you take joy in this wholesome deed. And if they don't know, but they listen to us and they also happy with the wholesome deed, they get it. But as Buddhists, you practice, you've been practicing when you're still in the human realm, then you know automatically how to do it. And that one help you the best. You yourself, because action can be mentally done, even though you don't have the capability to make the offering because you are a different realm. You don't have the material to offer to the human, but it can be created by the mind. Last time, act can be carried out by 3 ways, right? Bodily, verbally, and mentally, right? The Holy Ghost cannot do the other 2, bodily and verbally, but they can do mentally. So they take joy in someone else. They complicit with someone else wholesome deed, and they also gain some level of merit. Not 100%, some level, some percentage. Okay, so that's why in Buddhism we often have this culture that we often say sadhu. Sadhu is like bravo, well done. You compliment or you praise someone else good things. So that's why in Theravada Buddhist we often say sadhu. Sadhu is mean well done, bravo, good job. I'm happy that you're doing. And then another word further is adumudana. I think Thai people use it a lot. Adumudana, right? Yeah. So that's the same way, is to take joy in someone else doing good deed. Okay. Practice now, and then become a habit. And then, for some reason, which we don't want, but for some reason we fall into the hungry ghost realm, then we know what to do to save ourselves. Okay. All right. So if no question, we start doing the chanting and sharing merit. Hopefully being unseen being around here will listen to us and also rejoice with this wholesome deed that we're doing today in sharing with them. And they will also receive it